Hasselites, talk to me. Welcome back, everybody, for another edition of Hassel's Review. And this week, we're going to review none other than today's drop, because I'm dropping this on a Friday, on the day the game drops, WWE 2K24. So, I pre-ordered like a lot of people did, and because of that, I was able to invoke my digital privilege card. And I got the game on Tuesday morning, because I pre-ordered the digital 40 Years of WrestleMania edition. So, I was able to dive in a little sooner than the rest of you guys. And for that, I apologize. Not really. You know, I've been off this week, so I had time. So, I dove in. So, let's just dive straight into this whole thing and give some spoiler-ridden reviews, so to speak. So, I got the 40 year of WrestleMania, and it starts off much like every other edition. You know, Cody Rhodes is the cover star this year. So you open up to the big Cody mural, so to speak. You know, it was John Cena last year, Ray the year before, so forth and so on. So it opens up to that right there. The first thing I want to address is the elephant in the room. I don't know who at 2K thought it was appropriate to give Post Malone control over this soundtrack. But this soundtrack is the absolute drizzling shits. It is fucking awful. There's like 2 songs worth of damn. And one of those I think is his, and the other one was Busta Rhymes' song. The rest of this soundtrack fucking blows. I don't know if there's some songs that are unlockable later, because I did hear one actually when I was doing the Road to WrestleMania edition a while ago. I heard a song I hadn't heard. It's actually a Dr. Dre song. So I don't know where the hell that come from. It's the first time I've heard it. But I went in there. I ended up disabling the majority of the soundtrack and enabling some entrance themes, because, you know, I like the old school entrance themes. There's certain themes that are just, you know, fun and iconic to me. So I like, you know, having them going while I'm doing my selecting or whatnot. So this year right here, one of the first things I noticed right off the bat, I was a huge fan of 2K23. I thought they'd done an amazing job. I mean, it had some quirks and bugs here and there, like all games do. I mean, there's no game that's perfect, right? So, I mean, there was a few hang-ups here or there, but I noticed some of those that they had, they addressed. The guys at 2K done an amazing job on this game so far. I mean, like I said, I'm only a couple days in. You know, it's Friday. Got it on Tuesday morning, and you know, I've been busy some during the week. So, I mean, you know, I haven't really, I've dove in, but I haven't, so to speak. So there's still a lot to uncover, but they've done a lot of addressing of things. Like, one of the things has always kind of been a irk to me, like when you're playing the matches. You know, sometimes I'll have the entrances on. Sometimes I just, you know, skip them. It just depends on what I'm doing. But more often than not, I actually watch the entrance. You know, I enjoy it. So one of the things they address and this is something they've had in every game, every wrestling game ever. Well, if the AI commentator is in mid-sentence, it's the end of this guy's entrance, or gal, and they go to the next one, it just stops. And it automatically picks up into some, you know, booted up script for the next guy's entrance. They eliminated that. I really do like that there. Like, literally, even as it starts panning to black, they go into the next guy's entrance. They finish up whatever they were saying, and then seamlessly flow into the next set of dialogue. And I really like that. That was cool. I mean, don't be wrong. If you play it long enough, you know by heart what they're going to say. Typically, by the time I'm in universe mode, I know everything they're going to say before they say it. So that's when I do a lot more of the skipping of entrances than I do initially. But that was one of the things I did fix, and I liked it. The tag team flow, much better symmetry. It is pretty damn seamless. It flows well. You got a little better control over the. I mean, once you tagged in, you're always able to control your partner, but you can actually control him a little better on the apron while you're in the ring. You know, with a series of L1s and direction buttons and different ones. Just be careful, because 2 of them grab weapons, and they will throw weapons in the ring. And yeah, that gets your ass disqualified real quick. So be careful with that right there. But also, not only can you control him a little better, there just seems to be better flow with the tag. Like the tag team maneuvers. You know, a lot of times it always seems kind of forced. It's a lot better flow. There's different things. I noticed, like, Guys rolling in and out of the ring. It's a lot different. It almost seems more natural. Not as gameplay-ish. And that's what we do. We play this to escape from reality. So you don't want it to. You want it to seem more suspend your disbelief, so to speak, versus just seem like a damn game. You want it to have that like, oh shit, this is actually like watching a match. So getting in and out of the ring, some of the tag maneuvers, various things like this right here. I've noticed in the 1-on-1 and 2-on-2 play, it flows a lot better. It's got a lot better flow. There's several new game modes on there, or matches. Before we get into game modes, there's several new matches on there. You have special referee, you have the casket match, and you have the ambulance match. So, and they brought back War Games. War Games is pretty identical to last year's. You can still only do it in the Survivor Series arena, which is a bit of a bummer. I'm ready to see it in a different arena. That's the only, I guess, bugaboo about that. But War Games is still pretty cool, but it's only a Survivor Series. The casket match, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Special referee was so. I feel like I'll get more enjoyment out of that once I start getting into my universe. But the ambulance match, I greatly enjoyed. It was a lot of fun because, I mean, you can beat them over the damn head with the ambulance. You can, pick them up, get them up there with you, throw them off the son of a bitch. You can dive off of it, and then you got to shut both doors. It was fun. I really enjoyed the ambulance mode. I thought it was really cool. That was very, very, very fun. See, typically, what I do every year is I'll play the hell out of it in just one-on-one matchups and tag matches and things like this to get a feel for the game. And then once I get it, because they're bad about changing the game, the controls every year. Well, left controls alone. I like it. So one or two matches in, I have my feet back under me. And even though I've been playing, Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Jedi Survivor, I was able to just fall right back into 2K23 mode and start pounding on all cylinders. One of the very first things I did was I had to play with the American Dream Dusty Rhodes and put my Son of the Plumber on him, baby. So I really, really enjoyed it. He was a lot of fun. I had to win the 86. They got the 86 Andre title on there for the first time. I thought that was really cool. But I won it with Dusty. And there's something just amazing about that old school theme of his. And I like the fact that they didn't stick him in polka dots. They have him on there if you want to put them on him. Why you would want to, I don't fucking know. I don't know why Vince wanted to. But he's actually probably 79, 80 era Dusty, because he actually has like this purple hat and robe type deal. The first thing I did was I took that shit off of him. It's from the era when he was feuding with Superstar Billy Graham. Superstar Graham was on there as well. So yeah, we don't want him to fight the Evangelist. We want him to fight the other Superstar Graham. So, but they're both on there. But Dusty was a lot of fun to play with. And when the first thing I did was I took the robe and hat off of him. They have a Dusty t-shirt on there. It's a little oversized for my taste, but it's Dusty's. So I slapped that on him. And when that cowbell starts hitting, and he's just a common man, start coming down to the ring, man, you're going to get funky like a monkey at that point, baby. I don't care who you are. If you don't start feeling some American Dream up in there, you're doing yourself a disservice, baby. But I enjoyed it a lot. I haven't, like I said, done a lot into the one-on-ones and the tag matches and things like that, because I literally, typically every year, I play that for a while. I play my GM, and then I go into universe mode. And once I get into universe mode, I'm customizing the fuck out of shit. I didn't do that this year. I went the opposite. I'd seen commercials of the My Rise. I never played with My Rise. I never played My Rise. I never do my faction, none of that shit. But this year right here, the My Rise looked very interesting to me, because it's a custom story, with Roman Reigns giving up the title. And your creative player comes in and wins the title, and then you go on a journey and you wind up facing Roman at the end. It's roughly about 25 hours of gameplay, and I probably smashed it yesterday. So I might have got a little addicted to it. Might have been a few nights of staying up to about 2:30. I won't confirm this, but my wife probably would. It's very, very cool. The story basically opens up. You have to create a player. I haven't created a player, people, in at least 5 years. Once community creations entered the game play, I quit creating shit. Because every year I always made a Hassel, and he was always tailored after, a member of the Heart Foundation. He was a long lost member of the Heart Foundation. He was a bastard son or something like, you know what I'm saying. So I just quit creating them, and I would go on community creations and download, your SIDs and whatever legends was not included in the game or with another company or whatnot and so forth and so on, like Sting. But I had to create a player this year, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go balls deep, and I'm gonna do this thing. And I actually found out I still really enjoy creating players. So I may wind up trying to create a few. I guess the reason I quit creating because if it's not an original character, there's people out there that should be working for 2K. I'm sorry. They should really be working for them because some of the models they do are better than the ones on the game. And if you're not following them, go to our Twitter page, X, whatever you want to call it. We follow several of them on there. So several of them we follow on our Instagram. DJ Gorilla Nuts is one. What's the Status is another. Several of those guys, man, they just fucking knock it out of us. Icons of the Ring is like the group they're all a part of. There's like 5 or 6 of them. I'm missing a few of you guys, and I apologize. You all do amazing work. I think one of them actually just got hired by 2K, if that tells you anything. So, but they do amazing work. So I know, why should I waste my time doing a goofy looking Owen Hart when they done an amazing one? And I can have a completed Heart Foundation in? Did that last year. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm going to probably wait a month before I start trying to download community creations because they always do a lot of tweaking initially. So, and they start getting better. Later in the game, they get better. So I always I'll play a universe for that right there. So long story short, let me loop back around to my rise. I created a Hassel. And I was like, okay, I wonder what challenge I'm going to face, as far as an entrance name. Because let's face it, Hassel is not common. It's not on there. And I knew I wasn't going to get it on there. So I was like, how close can I get? If nothing else, can I get Hitman Hart or something? You know what I'm saying? Like he's, like I said, I tailored him after, the Heart Foundation. He was the pink and black attack. But he was from Atlanta, Georgia, however. Go Dogs. But as close as I was able to get was Hassel. Hassel. You know what? I was a kid that used to play super bad. I was super bad at ring. So, I had a bit of an imagination. It's close enough for me. I can enjoy it. So, it wasn't too far off. But you start off my rise. You're in the ring and you're just running the ropes before the show. It's before Survivor Series. And William Regal walks up and he's like really admiring the fact that you're like one of the first people there. You helped the ring crew put the ring up. You're one of the last ones there. And he was like, you've been on the roster for about 2 years, but you've done just enough to stay afloat, this, that, and the other. But I see a great deal of potential in you. He says, so I'm sure you've seen on social media where Roman Reigns has vacated the title. Roman has decided that, I'm tired of beating all you motherfuckers. I'm just going to vacate the title, go play movie star in Hollywood for a while and do my thing. And then when I'm ready, I'll come back. So the title's vacated. They start a tournament that night and, there's one peak left. And in my rise, Regal was the Raw GM, and The Miz is the SmackDown GM. And then you got Shawn, obviously, over NXT. So, Regal enters my character, Hassel, into the tournament. And it actually wound up, you level your guy up as you go, so it starts getting a little easier. It starts out, I ain't going to say it's very challenging. I'm going to be honest, people. I don't set it to, like, super hard difficulties anymore. I'm not the guy that no longer has to feel the challenge and the thrill of kicking the shit out of these games. I play them for enjoyment at this point. I just want to complete the story, enjoy it, and have fun. So I keep it around easy to medium usually. I'm just like, fuck it. It's what it is. If you play harder, God bless you. Hats off to you. I don't. Not anymore. A man of my youth, I did. In my 40s, I just want to play. I want to enjoy it. I want to cut loose. I don't need the anxiety. Anyways, so Regal enters you into the tournament. Like I said, the more you play, the more you get to level up your character. I got up to about a 94, which considering the ranking system on this year's, that's really good because they got like AJ Styles at an 85. I don't know who done their ranking system this year. It fucking sucks though, but you got sliders. You can always adjust. So you go forth. You end up, getting to the final matches. You and Cody in the final match, to be the undisputed champion. Well, Cody, no matter how well you do, it gets to a sequence where Cody gets better and he throws crossroads on you. Well, next thing you know, Roman hits the ring, fucks Cody up, dips out, hauls ass. And you take advantage because, you're not a heel. I didn't play as a heel. I played babyface the entire time. But, you're going to take advantage. So you slap your finisher on him, you win. And even though he's like, he's like happy but not. So you got the title there, and they start calling you the Dark Horse. Well, of course, Roman, he steals your thunder and says, basically, I give you the fucking title. You probably won't have it come tomorrow night, so it doesn't matter. 30 days from now, you won't have it. But just know whoever has a title, when I return, rent's due, motherfucker. And I loved that. That was what sold me in the commercial. I was like, okay. There's a YouTube commercial that's going on right now. And if you hadn't seen it, it's actually really great. Watch it. So I was like, oh, shit, that's pretty cool. So basically, you get shifted off to, you have a rematch the next night. Because, Cody's talking that shit about, hey, Roman gave you the title. I don't blame you. I know you didn't have nothing to do with it, but I had your ass beat. So there's that doubt. So you go to start to have a match the next night, and it's the first night of the draft. Well, The Miz comes out there, and he basically is being a fucking prick about, because you get an option before that to either side with him or, no, I'm going to forge my own path. And, of course, being the babyface, you have to forge your own path. If you want to be a heel, side with The Miz. I don't know what it does because I didn't play heelish in any aspect. There was a couple of things I said to some people was heelish here or there. For the most part, though, I was a good guy. So, that was pretty fun there. So The Miz, basically stops the match in the middle and says, I drafted Hassel to SmackDown. He's my champion. You're not stealing my title, Regal. And then he proceeds to make your life a living hell for the next, basically, 3 years. So what happens is, over the course of the first year, you do a bunch of challenges and you face a lot of motherfuckers. Then you have to do an elimination chamber with all the people you fought, that was actually a little bit of a challenge because you're still early in the game. The next night at WrestleMania, you win. It's like, oh shit, you've done a year now. No, it wasn't WrestleMania. It was Survivor Series. I apologize. You've done a year now. Well, they even have the bump on there. They went as far as put, Kayla Braxton and, the other dude, the coach knockoff. He's in there doing the bump. They have segments like that. They bring you on there. There's a ton of cutscenes in this thing that's like really great. And you get options. And that's what I always enjoyed stuff like that as a kid. Like when you're playing, you have the option of saying A, B, or C, and play it out differently in the story. There's a lot of that right there. And they, like, on the bump, they're talking about, hey, well, you've had the title down for a year straight on Raw. The title's been passed around like a hot potato, basically, with all these people winning the title. So you start having that right there, but the whole time, you're doubting yourself there. And everybody's calling you the Dark Horse and this, that, and the other. And you end up, towards the end of I think it's into your second year, almost into your third. When you get into WrestleMania season, you go into War Games, and it's Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. And you get to select your team, which is pretty cool. I like that. That was fun. There's a whole pathway to do that. That was really cool. And no matter how well you do in War Games, they got it set up to where Cody gets the pinfall over you. And you doubt yourself even more. Well, then Regal and Mia set up a match between me and Cody at the next pay-per-view. Or at the Royal Rumble, I'm sorry. And I kicked the shit out of Cody. Fuck you, Cody. And I took the world title, which was really cool. And there is a part earlier in there I skipped over where my champion tried to go to NXT to get away from Miz. Won the NXT title. That was really cool. Some of your choices there have consequences. I can say that without spoiling too much of the story. But it's your story. It doesn't matter. It ain't Cody's story. It's your story. So do it how you want to. But there's some things there that have repercussions later. So you win the NXT title. You stripped of it, to get sent back to SmackDown. You win the title from Cody there, and you start entering WrestleMania season. Well, The Miz is pissed off because you've done all this, and he creates a whole nother title for Logan Paul. and they calls it the multiversal title or some bullshit. And you get to play with a special referee on that there. That was pretty fun. It's a blast. I mean, I'll be honest. Then you finally get, you beat Cody. You're the world champion and the universal champion. You're rolling into WrestleMania, even though the Miz has tried to keep you off the show. He's had you wrestling in dark matches, shipped you off to Mexico or Japan, various places like that. There's all that. So it's just a ton of cool things to do. And then like the finish of the story, basically, you go into WrestleMania and you got to fight Brock Lesnar, who is teamed up with the Bloodline, which was very odd to me. Even though they kind of blacklisted Brock from this game, they still had him in there. You beat Brock on night 1, and if you make it to night 2, and even though you're not supposed to have to wrestle, you'll tie Roman's record. Well, at the end of the match, after you beat Brock, you're doing your thing, you're living, basking in your glory, Roman comes out and kicks the shit out of you. Tell you, rent due, motherfucker. And he challenges you next night. You got to beat Roman the next night to not only tie his record, but then at 12:01, you'll break his record. Pretty damn cool storyline. I liked it overall arc. Like I said, there's some things you can do here and there you can tweak. Make it your own. So that's pretty cool there. So I done that. I went and knocked it out. Like I said, it's roughly about 25 hours. And we knocked it out in about 10 minutes here. So, hey, there that is. Now I'm entering into the road to WrestleMania. I've only played 2 matches so far on there. I played Starshot off with Macho Man Savage versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at WrestleMania 3. And then Andre and Hogan at WrestleMania 3. They're fun. But there's always like a certain sequence of shit you have to do. And I can't do a few of those matches in a row because it fucks my anxiety up. Because you got to hit the certain sequence. And why? I'm not someone that just wants to hit a random punch, knock the damn person out and win. I have to hit the finisher or win with a submission or something like that. It's got to make sense to me because I want to finish the match, but that's not it. But I also don't want to be tied to, you have to do this Irish rip into this one corner, or you have to do this one diving attack, or some wild sequence of shit that you never play with in the regular game. There's a lot of that there in those. So I played 2 of those there now. I'm on to Ravishing Rick Rude versus Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 4. So that's next on the docket. So I'll probably play a few more matches tonight. I tinkered with my faction just to say I opened it. It's a card game. I don't, even though you're playing, but you got to collect cards, and that's a fucking scam. It's nothing more to get you to fucking spend money in the damn marketplace and buy these damn cards. I'm not fucking doing it. Not happening. I will happily go play my universe and set up the way I fucking want to and be just fine. I don't have to have the shit decided. The only thing that sucks is you can sometimes get cool attires through my faction, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, push you on the server, I'll download it off Community Creations and just get what I want. Cherry pick the good stuff while I had to play it. So the next thing, I will finish Road to WrestleMania. Then I will do my GM, and then I'll go into universe mode, and that's kind of how I wind the game out, so to speak. But so far, like I said, other than the soundtrack, I've got no complaints. The game is fun. It's great. If you haven't bought it yet, I highly urge you go to your GameStop or your Walmart or wherever today. Target. I wouldn't buy it at Target. Everything is too high at Target. But anyways, go to your store of your choosing or buy it off the digital marketplace. Even better, you ain't have to leave the fucking house. Download them shits. Start playing. Spend your weekend doing that right there, because what else do you want to do this weekend? Time springs forward, I believe, this Saturday anyway, so you're going to lose a damn hour. So, play the game. Lose your hour while playing the game. So, with that being said, let's give a few shout-outs to some people. Well, let me give a score first. It is a good solid 4.5 out of 5 hassles. If it wasn't for the soundtrack, so far, I hadn't come across any bugs. I hadn't come across any foul gameplay or anything of this so forth and so on right now. So we'll see. And there's a fucking shit ton of superstars. There's probably 200 superstars this year with everything that they have on there. So, and they do have NWO John Cena on there and Wolfpack Bray Wyatt. Wolfpack Bray Wyatt's kind of cool, but at the same time, it just means I got the Wolfpack theme on there now. So I can make an actual Wolfpack this year in my universe, because my universe is always Monday Night Raw versus WCW Nitro. That's what I do. I delete one of the shows and it becomes Nitro. And it is the WCW brand, and I go from there. So, 4.5 out of 5 Hassels. Let's give a shout out to our sponsor, Zone Collectibles, 305 Main Street, Tifton, Georgia. Hit them up for all your nerdy needs where they support unity through community. Fandoms unite. Give the Clady Clan some love. Check them out on Spotlight Media. You can check us out on Spotlight Media, on Roku and Fire TV. How about our buddies, Geek Network? You can find us on there. And last but not least, don't ever sleep on our boy Big Rob of Big Rob's House of Entertainment and No Chinese Food, where he will give you stories of the road like no one else can do. He will entertain the fuck out of you people, and he is everywhere. Go check his Instagram, his TikTok. I apologize, I got tongue-tied, people. Go check his TikTok out. It is like amazing. It's very, very fun. So go check that out, dog. So with that being said, hit the American Dream on them, hit the elbow, and finish the damn story. And that's the bottom line.